I think it looks pretty. Yeah, I think it looks pretty. So I'm gonna get a plate out for myself and we are gonna get ready to go. In fact, I'm gonna get a picture of myself. Here we go. So hi, I'm Amy and welcome to my little kitchen. We are going to make a spring vegetable green salad. And I was talking about it in another video. As we come out of winter and we're into spring and summer, we're so looking forward to all of those fresh vegetables and fruits and greens and maybe lighter meals, I don't know. But I was pretty excited to just kind of make up this salad because we're talking about some of the spring vegetables that are out there. Now, not all of them I may like or care for or know what to do with. So I'm definitely going with things that are familiar to me. But some of the spring vegetables are green onions, arugula, asparagus, and that's what we're going to have in the salad. Asparagus. I've got spinach here, arugula. I have radishes. Now, the one thing about radishes, they do have a little bite to them. But I could not find like that watermelon radish that looks so pretty when you cut it. They're not in my grocery stores. I have to go to more of a specialty grocery store like, I don't know, you might find them at Trader Joe's or New Seasons we have here in the Northwest or Whole Foods, who knows. I just didn't have time to look for them, so I'm just using regular radishes. But I would have used regular radishes along with that watermelon radish. The white radish wasn't really fun to me because it really wasn't too colorful, so I don't know. Maybe if I had more of a variety of radishes, I would have used that. But we're just using the common one you can find in your store. And then we're going to put in a little bit of parsley, a little bit of basil and chives. Oh, we also have romaine lettuce here. And I did say arugula and spinach. And peas. We've got peas here. Now, these are frozen peas. And you can blanch them if you want, but typically what I use, if I just want peas unfrozen, I just really, gently put hot water over them. And it's so easy and simple instead of blanching them and everything, and they still keep their green color. But for this asparagus, I'm going to blanch these. Now, the one thing I want to say about asparagus, I like this bunch that I got in the store because the stems here are thinner, where you can get asparagus, which I probably should have showed you the ones in my refrigerator. They're much thicker here, and I think when you get closer to the ends, that is a lot tougher to chew or have in a salad or something like that. And that's why a lot of us will cut off maybe, I don't want to say a third, but at least cut off about an inch or more from the stem, because this is a lot tougher and it just doesn't taste as well. So you want more of the tender part. So I would say, maybe like 3/4 of your asparagus will be the best part. The one thing I thought would be kind of fun in this salad, because I'm kind of a fan of toasting some nuts for my salad, depending on what the salad is, instead of croutons, we are going to roast chickpeas. Now, I would not, even though I love crunch, I would not want to just eat this chickpea. It's a different kind of crunch. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like it. I love hummus. I love chickpeas in soup because they become soft. I love them roasted, and that's what we're going to do here. I don't need all of these chickpeas within the salad, but the one thing that I find fun is that if you roast chickpeas, I will just eat them, and they don't have to be in anything. So that's what we're going to do now, and this is going to take some time. In fact, I did put in my baby chickpeas. Yeah, they could take anywhere, depending, 15 to 25 minutes, depending on how crisp you want them. Now, the biggest thing about chickpeas, though, you want to drain them from the can. You want to rinse them. Or I should say rinse them first. Drain, rinse, and then you want to pat them dry as best you can without smushing them, because I did smush a few chickpeas. Because the more dry the chickpeas are, the crispier they will be when you roast them. So I have the oven on at 450. We're going to roast them, I don't know, maybe about 20 minutes. But that'll give you time to kind of prep your salad. And the chickpeas will be done, and it will be glorious. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to add a cheese in here, but I think I will. I think a good cheese for this salad would be either feta, or I might do shaved Parmesan cheese, because that's like a drier cheese. I might go ahead and do feta. I do have a recipe for a vinaigrette on the recipe for the spring vegetable green salad, but I just made some green goddess dressing, and so I think I'm going to drizzle that on here. And so I think feta may go better with that dressing than shaved Parmesan. So we're going to use feta, and I forgot to get that out here, but we're going to get that out here once these chickpeas are done. So let's get these chickpeas done, because it'll take a minute. I tried to dry these off as best I could, and you know, I mean, if you want, you can leave them out or something like that, but you know, sometimes you just don't have enough time to have an hour for your chickpeas to dry. So I just gently use a paper towel. Just gently use a paper towel here. Just kind of get as much moisture out of there as you can. One thing about the chickpeas, their white little skins come off of them. Now, I'm not sure if that's there to help them crisp up or not, but I try and get them out of here, because as you're roasting, these will kind of burn up, and you don't want to be freaked out thinking your chickpeas are burning, because they're really not. It's just this, you know, thin little skin part of the chickpea. So anyway, I just found a couple, so I'm just getting them out. Okay, that's good. Okay, we're going to use a little olive oil, just a little bit. I don't want the chickpeas too moist here. I'm just going to use this kind of a spatula thing here. Then we're going to do a little bit of salt. I like a little garlic. We're just going to do a little bit of garlic. Oof. Well, maybe more than just a little bit. I don't know. And then we're going to do a little paprika. I don't want them overly spicy, but if you do, you can use chipotle, just very little because that's hot. Or hot paprika or smoked paprika. But you can really do a lot with chickpeas, depending on if they're going into something or you're just going to eat them, just plain. And we're going to put these over a baking sheet. And I've got that lined up with parchment paper. And you know, the one thing that I thought about doing it on like a cookie sheet is that I have to make sure that the chickpeas don't all roll off. So I'm just going to put that over here because I've got all my vegetables lined up. Okay. I gotta clear this mess away, people, so you can see something. Not that y'all don't know how to put chickpeas or anything on a baking sheet, but I could be funny here and just I could be funny. Oops. Let me correct my oven.
I'm gonna pause you once you get those chickpeas the way they're gonna be on the sheet, so I can take a quick picture.
You want to go now?
I'll just get them kind of set.
Okay. And then you kind of want to spread them out so, you know, they can roast and not be next to each other and, you know, not roast properly because the moisture from each of them, because they're too crowded. Just like anything else. When you're cooking in a pan for your chicken, I don't want to steam these. I don't want to bake them. I want them to roast and hopefully get crispy. So I'm going to check these at 20 minutes and we're going to stick them in the oven, 450 roasting, and let's see what happens. Okay, while these are roasting, we are going to finish up prepping the rest of the salad. I think that'll be kind of fun. Now, the thing I told you before is that I sometimes have to think about what I'm doing when I put something in the oven. Because I have to climb on a stool and I don't want to like trip and fall and have to put my hand on the oven door or something and I'm like, oh my God, burn myself. I don't know what's happening, but anyway. So what we're gonna do first here is we are going to trim up our asparagus. And these are asparagus. These will just take about a minute. I mean, they're thin enough. You still want the green color. You still want them tender, but still have that bite to them. You're just trying to blanch them. You're just trying to cook them just very little. So, here we go. I don't know, maybe about an inch. And of course, I may be doing more than I need, but that's okay. Let me ask you this question, you guys. Do you think Chris is going to eat this salad? Tell me. Because I'm not sure whether he's going to want this salad or not. And if you want to keep the other parts of the asparagus, maybe you can if you're doing a soup. I know there's like lots of asparagus soups out there. But even when you're doing a quiche, you still want the tender parts of the asparagus. You still want that bite. You don't want them mushy, but you also don't want them all chewy and hard, tough. So I'm just eyeballing it. Probably definitely a lot more asparagus than I need here, but I'm on a roll, people. I'm on a roll. So what is happening for me in the spring? Oh, the thing I'm excited about. I'm gonna go and see my daughter. I haven't seen her in quite some time, and so I'm kind of excited about seeing her and her husband Joel. And so yeah, in fact, I'm trying to think in my brain as I speak about it, what kind of recipe can I make for them? I'm just gonna put these over here. Oh, you know the other thing I thought about too? I gotta keep an eye on the time for those asparagus. Okay, so. I don't think they all can fit in here, but let's see. Because we're gonna scoop them out of this little scooper thing here. I think I'm gonna do a poll on my Instagram and Facebook stories and hopefully YouTube. I don't know. In fact, I think I can do that. Do y'all want to see some of the utensils and the pots and pans and the stuff that I use and how I cook and all of that other stuff? I don't know. I'd like to see what utensils you use. Because one thing I definitely got to do is I got to take my knives in and get them sharpened. I really want a professional to do that instead of, those knife sharpeners that you have or the little, I know I'm going off on a tangent. Instead of the blade thing and you go like that to sharpen them, I like want them really sharpened. So anyway, so here we are. I've got a pot of boiling water over here. We're gonna blanch them. I'm hoping my water didn't boil all the way. But we're just gonna blanch them like maybe 2 minutes, if that. These are really thin. I'm not even sure it's gonna take that long. Oh, look at that, you guys. I think I waited too long. My water boiled away. Okay. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, I'm glad I looked at it. The water actually boiled all the way. That has never happened to me before. Okay, I guess I wasn't paying attention enough because the water boiled away in my pot, and in the nick of time, I went over there and it just had a few drops in it. So that would have been bad for this pan, this brazier pot over here that I absolutely love. Because if I would have ruined that, I would have been so bummed. Because this is Le Creuset, and they're expensive, but I love it. I love these pans. So I'm going to pay a little more of attention. So as we wait for that water to come to a boil again, Daisy May, what are you talking about? I'm going to go ahead and slice up some radishes. I don't know if I like this knife for this. So I didn't get out my mandolin. So I'm just going to try and slowly, carefully, I should say carefully, thinly slice these. Slice them thin. Oh, brothers. And I don't know, you know, depending on the size of the radish, probably 2 or 3 of them. So I'm just going to rough chop some of this chive. Well, that's probably enough, I would think. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I got that done. We're going to do a couple of green onions here. Green parts and all. Some of this broke. Oops. I like green onions for a salad cut on the diagonal. I just think people can see what they're eating better than just cutting them in rounds. Now, if you don't like onions, or you know some of your guests don't like, you know, green onions or onions of any kind, you can eliminate this. You don't have to put this in there. But I don't know. I like green onions. They're a good spring. Or you could use those spring green onions with the purple bulb. They look like a little purple bulb. I think those are green, you know, a green onion family. So, sorry, I'm not looking at you very much, am I? I'm focusing. I gotta make sure I don't cut my finger. Because I do know the proper way to hold your food, but I don't know, my fingers aren't long enough and they don't have that grace, you know, ooh. And so sometimes I don't do it all the way. This, I'm just going to do a rough chop of the basil. And then I'm just going to get a big plate. See, that's it. Because the one thing I don't like is eating salad and you've got this big piece of lettuce that's, you know, almost too big to eat. So anyway, I'm just going to put this on a plate here so I know what I've got covered. Okay, the one thing I'm going to do about my chickpeas, because sometimes the things in the back of the oven cook a little quicker than the things in the closer to the door, so I'm going to turn around my little thing there. Oh, and by the way, hopefully all my chickpeas won't roll off. Okay, success. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my asparagus before I finish up. Well, here, let me, I'm gonna chop up my cucumber really quick. Cucumbers are one of those things that I like cutting in half. Because again, I think it's just something you can fit easier on the fork and most especially in your mouth without having this whole round of a cucumber. And I like using the English cucumber because I find that the skins aren't as tough. And all I need is really half of this. Half of the piece that I cut off. So guess what? If you have any leftover veggies, you can dip it in the green goddess dressing. You can find that recipe over at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen too. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna blanch my asparagus. In fact, I'm not sure if I'm just gonna leave them in here. We're just gonna dip them in here a little bit. In fact, I'm gonna stand here because I am so freaked out that if I forget about them, they are going to turn to mush. And we don't want that. We really don't want that. I'm gonna get a little bowl so when I take the asparagus out of the water, boy, this is a tough one because you only need a few minutes. Okay, and you still want them that bright green color as well. Okay, I almost have all of them out. Oh, whoa. And now I'm just gonna put them right here in the cold water. That'll help cool them down and prevent the asparagus from continuing to cook. You just need it in there for a few minutes. But look at that, they still have, can you see that in the clear bowl? Because I don't want to tip it because all the water will come out. But the asparagus are still green, so I hope I did it long enough. I panicked. I was too afraid to get them too long and then they would not be pretty. Okay. In fact, I'm gonna put a little paper towel in there. And the minute I get these out, I think my chickpeas will be done. And you know what? If you wanted to add some protein to this, I think a nice sauteed chicken would go well. Or even like fish, a white fish, codfish, halibut, something like that. Or even shrimp. I think would go well with the salad. You can either put it on top, put it on the side, or something like that. Okay, let me get out my chickpeas. Okay, I think I got my chickpeas just in the nick of time. Look at them. They're nice and roasted and toasty. And the only burnt ones kind of like are some of the ones that the skin. I mean, there's definitely a few of them. I probably could have taken these out a few minutes ago, but I'm just going to kind of separate the ones that I really don't want. But believe me, I will still eat them. And a couple of them still have their skin on them. So that's kind of what causes them to, I think these are going to be so crispy. I'm going to love it. Okay, I think this is good. Okay. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Do I know what I'm gonna do, people? No, I don't. I'm gonna try. Because the one herb I don't have on here is the parsley. So I'm just gonna take the ones out that I don't want in here. And just set them aside for a minute. I'm gonna get a smaller bowl than this. Okay, I'm gonna use this bowl. I'm just gonna fold up the parchment and go, woo! Oh, look at that. You would have thought I just came up with a clever idea. I would be like, it's about time. Okay. I think now we're ready to assemble. I still have to cut up my avocado, but I'll wait for that and the parsley. So we're gonna put the bowl right here. Now, if you wanted to do individual plates, you can, but I think if you do a nice salad bowl and you kind of make sure all the stuff is spread out, I think that will work too. So we're gonna start with, I forgot, we're gonna start with putting up my romaine. Now the one thing about romaine, obviously I don't need this whole thing. So what I may do, because I still want some of the inner romaine, so what I may do is just make a few slices on the end here, and then I want to go on the other end. But I will try and get rid of some of the bigger, harder parts, because this end of the romaine still has a little bit of that crunch that you want to have too. So let's see if that's enough. Just gonna put this back over here, and then we're gonna start doing that. So I don't know, that part I don't want. Some parts of the romaine I don't want because they're like almost too crunchy, too hard. So we're just gonna kind of layer our salad. Might be a little more romaine than I really wanted. Well, that's what I mean. Salads, you eyeball it. See, some of this harder white part, I don't know. I'm not always a fan of it. Don't ask me why. But it does add part of the crunch to your salad. Okay. Okay, then we're going to add in a little bit of the spinach. And like I said, the quantities of this vary, because if it's only the two of you, maybe you don't need as much of all of this. But if you're feeding a large crowd, then up some of the quantities that I have here. Because, you know, obviously you're going to need more. In fact, I'm just going to add all of this. So salads are one of those things that, you know, you can just eyeball it. Okay, I think that's enough. I think I have enough romaine. Kind of mix it all in here. Okay, and then I'm going to mix in a little bit of the basil. I'm going to tear this up a little bit. Sometimes people don't want a big chunk of basil either. Then I'm going to go ahead and mix in some of the chives. And then some of the green onions. Okay. Oops, some more here. Some more of the chives. So I'm getting rid of everything that's on this plate. And then I'm going to just kind of scatter some of the radishes all over. Oh, you know, the thing I forgot to get out, you guys, was the feta. So how many radishes did I cut up? 2. I'm just going to go ahead and use all of them because I have it. And then I have a little bit of a cucumber. So just kind of scatter those slices around. Just kind of make it pretty however you want to kind of dress this up. But I think half of the presentation is what bowl are you going to put the salad in. Come on, I can't forget about the asparagus. I'm just going to kind of just grab a handful here. This is about spring. This is about spring. Daisy. This is about spring vegetables. The lettuce is kind of like something to kind of have it sit on. You can kind of just fluff it up a little bit. Have some of the radishes show. Because sometimes when you make salads, don't you find that half the time all the stuff falls to the bottom? Then I got a couple of peas and sprinkle some peas around here. And this couldn't have been more than maybe 1/4 cup. And I don't want to freak Chris out too much. The one thing that I forgot to do was parsley. So we're just going to do a little bit of parsley. Just going to kind of pull the leaves off, because no, I do not want stems in the salad. I don't think people are used to that. I'm not anyway, I should say. A little bit of parsley, a couple of sprigs there. And then we're just gonna kind of tear it up a little bit. Get some of the radishes. I don't know why some of the radishes sunk in there, because I want you to see how colorful this is. Okay. Okay. I almost, oh, the avocado. Let me cut up the avocado. Let me cut up the avocado. I'm going to quickly go to my fridge over here and get some feta. Okay, so we're going to cut up an avocado. Let's see. Hopefully this avocado will be nice to me. Okay, I don't think it's very nice to me. Let's see if I can salvage any of this. No. Let me see if this one will be better. Daisy! Okay, I think this one may be a little better. You almost want not very ripe avocado. I think I had another one somewhere. Well, if you don't have a very ripe avocado, don't worry about it. I thought this was going to be firmer than I had anticipated. So unless you're going to have the salad right away, I wouldn't cut up the avocado, because once it's exposed to air, it'll slowly turn brown. You know, get kind of that brown color. Okay. Just going to scrape off some of the brown here. I mean, if you want to use that stuff for something else, feel free, people. Okay, so we're just going to slice this down the middle. Maybe again. And I'm just going to have big chunks. How many radishes did I do? Did I only do 2? I would probably have done almost 4 radishes in here. Okay, so I pretty much got the salad layered and all of the ingredients that I wanted to put into the spring salad. I think it's full of some of those spring vegetables. So now I'm just gonna sprinkle some of the chickpeas over it. And believe me, they've got crunch in it. I have in my recipe the time from 20 to 30 minutes, but I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna go from 15 to 20 minutes, and you just need them lightly roasted. These definitely have a crunch. I probably would have backed off 5 minutes of it. So anyway, this is what we're gonna do. I know. And I'm just gonna crumble some feta. Okay, so I just took a slice off of a whole feta. I don't know, I just kind of didn't want the crumble. I think the feta stays a little more moist. And this will just create, you know, a little bit of creaminess, but also definitely a little bit of saltiness, depending on your dressing. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of that on. This salad is filled with some of those spring herbs. I think it's gonna be really good. And I'm sure you guys all want me to taste some of it, right? Right? I think this salad would go good with a nice, I'm gonna spread out some of these cucumbers a little bit more. A vinaigrette, but I went ahead and made a green goddess dressing. You can find the green goddess dressing over there at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen or my YouTube channel. But in the recipe, I did include a vinaigrette. So if you want a vinaigrette, you have it right there with the spring vegetable green salad. So anyway, I think this is going to be enough feta. But yeah, doesn't that look pretty? So yeah, doesn't that look pretty? I think it looks pretty. Yeah, I think it looks pretty. So I'm gonna get a plate out for myself and we are gonna get ready to go. In fact, I'm gonna get a picture of myself. Here we go. Look at these tongs I'm gonna use. Don't they look kind of springy? I'm not sure, I think I got these in Italy, but you could probably get them at Crate and Barrel, Williams Sonoma, or basically most any other home kitchen store, but I think I've officially got these in Italy. In fact, yep, Italy. So to me, they're a little special. Anyway, here we go. I'm just gonna dig deep down and just put a little bit on my plate. There we go. I just wanna make sure I have some of these veggies that I talked about. So where did all my peas go? So that's the one thing about veggies. Sometimes the heavier stuff still floats down to the bottom. Did I get a cucumber? A cucumber and a radish. I probably would have put a little more radish. Anyway, that's enough. Oh, I didn't get enough chickpeas. Ooh. There we go. So then we're going to just I'd probably do a littler spoon, but Daisy May. Hey. Here's a little bit of green goddess dressing. Okay, there we go. Where's my fork? Okay, can I just continue to eat in front of y'all, because this is like really, really good. I'm really kind of liking it. So you can find the spring vegetable green salad over there at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can just look at it on YouTube as well. But I so appreciate you being in my little kitchen. So until next time, get cooking and keep gathering around the table with family and friends. And give this a try. Let me know. Okay. Bye.